I tell you, it's so exciting because two of us talked just a couple years ago, and you were trying to get into that world where you could get an interview as a head coach, and I know the frustration that you were going through. What did it feel like when you were sitting in that office and they told you you were going to be the head coach?
Well, it was great. It was great. It was a great feeling, Kurt, because of the relationship that we formed with the players. This game, hell, this game's about relationships.
It is.
It's about people. It's about getting this person to be the best that they can be.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of rewarding to know that somebody saw the fact that I could get the best out of someone.
No doubt. So, in the process, what's been the biggest challenge? Because it's always one thing going from position coach. I know you had a little of the interim last year. What's been the toughest challenge of being a head coach?
Well, I think it's, just like life. You're trying to get a collective group of people on the same page, pulling in the same directions, and admonishing their individual collective thoughts about themselves, But, if you approach it from the standpoint of you want to get the best out of yourself for the team, then that's something totally different. And that's just what we're trying to create here, and create that environment where they can do that.
Sure. Who are the guys you lean on? I know first-time head coaches, they always kind of tap into different people. You had a great relationship with Coach Arians. I know that. Steve Wilkes, head coach last year. Who are those guys that you tap into to help you with this process?
Well, I think along the way, you've taken things from different people. I've been very fortunate to work for great people with Wiz and Todd and Coach Parcells and Coach Sabe, all these guys. You take little things from them, but I think we've put together a great staff here with a lot of experience. We've got a couple of guys that have been head coaches. We've got a special teams coordinator that potentially be a head coach one day. And got some young guys that that have played recently. So got all areas that you can pull things from.
When it comes to expectations, here's an organization that for a long time really had no expectations. Then boom, you become head coach and everybody's talking about Super Bowl with the moves that you made. How do you embrace that? I remember Coach Arians always used to say, it's Super Bowl or bust. Yeah. He embraced that part of it. What is your approach when it comes to those expectations?
Well, it's the same. It's sort of the same from the standpoint of that's always going to be our expectation here. But, 31 other teams have the same expectations.
Especially this time of year, right?
Yeah, everybody's. There's going to be, after week one, you're going to have half the league that's very, very disappointed, and half the league that think they can still win the Super Bowl. So, we're never going to, run from the fact that that's our goal.
Sure.
But we're also, our expectations are going to be on how we practice today, how we stretch, how we meet, all those kind of things is our expectations on ourselves.
So how do you, when it's all said and done, how are you going to measure success? Is it simply Super Bowl? Is it simply playoffs? How do you measure success with this football team?
Well, if you could tell me what happens during the course of the year, I might could give you a better illustration for that. But right now we're just one of 32 teams trying to get to the Super Bowl. But diminishing it further than that, we're just trying to get through this practice and get a little bit better every day. I don't even want a big jump. I just want a little bit. But I want us to stack practices together like that, where we're getting better each and every day.
So you got all this talent. I know one of the questions I always got with the talent that I had around me is, how do you keep them all happy? How do you appease all the egos that are out there and all the great players you have? How do you approach that to make sure you keep everybody happy offensively?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't be a very good coach if I didn't try to get good players to football, and we're going to try to do that. But also they've got to buy into the fact that we've got bigger goals and aspirations than to collectively get one person the ball all the time. And I know people like to talk about all the talent that we have, but I'm a firm believer that those guys are buying into the fact that we're all in this thing together, trying to get there, and we're going to do the best. They've got to trust me, and I've got to trust them. And that it all comes back to trust, Kurt, and everything you do.
No question.
And you know that. You had two good receivers, a good running back, and probably potentially 3 Hall of Famers. So
always came back to that same thing. You trust me to do my job. Trust my coach to call the plays, and we'll get it to the right guy, and everybody will get their chance. Talk to me about the young quarterback. Unbelievable year in his rookie year. Went through some growing pains at times. Know you work with him closely. What are the 1 or 2 things that you say, this is what we're focused on that he needs to get better at this year?
Well, I think protections. It always starts with protections and understanding the protections. And that eliminates him getting hit. enables him to get the ball out quicker. You know, all those little things that you don't really see that protections dictate. And you know, so we're always working on protections. Where are your eyes? You know, you may be hot on this side, but your eyes need to be over there for your read. So what's your technique in doing that? You know, well, let's fix the protection so you're only looking at one side, you know, initially. But, you know, Baker understands he's not a finished product. I guarantee you there's something. You retired, glorious career, all right, Hall of Fame. But I promise you there's one thing, at least one thing.
Yeah, at least one.
But
There's more than one
thing that you said, damn, I never mastered that.
No
I wanted to master that.
No question.
You know, so a quarterback's never a finished product. There's always something. I guarantee you ask John Elway the same thing. He's going to tell you the same thing. Man, I wish I could have gotten a little better at that bang. You know, well, he may not say bang, but he's going to say something.
Exactly.
But, you know, there's always something. So you're never a finished product. You're always trying to get better at that position.
I love it. Well, I'm so excited for you, man. Appreciate who you are and what you represent, especially how you represent this position. So best of luck to you. Can't wait to watch.
I appreciate it, Kurt.